Hey there. So just doing a little video on Palo Santo versus sage and when to use them, why you would use them, the different types, etc. Get a lot of questions about sage sticks and cleansing your space. So I just thought I'd do a little video and see what I can offer you as far as guidance. So let's talk sage sticks and Palo Santo. Okay, here let's go over the different forms. We've got the different forms of sage and Palo Santo. Mostly in the sage category is the different forms, but let's go over that. So here we've got an incense stick, classic sage stick in a smaller form, a larger combination sage stick, and Palo Santo. So now let's go back over to incense. This one happens to be sage and Palo Santo combination, but you can get either. They come in combinations, they come just sage, just Palo Santo, etc. And when would you use an incense stick of sage or Palo Santo? Really more when you are looking to just have something light going in the background to lift the energy in the room. A sage incense stick is not going to cleanse your whole house. It's much, much lighter. Imagine like a light beer, or when you just have a light little salad for lunch because you're really not hungry, you're just a little. So you want just a little sustenance, but you're not going to have a big salad. You just have like a little side salad. That's how you have to think of an incense stick, because it does have the cleansing properties of sage, but it's just not intensified. It's not a lot of it. So it's lovely to burn in the background, or it's lovely to burn for maintenance once you have already used your sage stick or Palo Santo to keep the energy cleared and to keep that lovely light flowing energy going. So that's when you would generally use that to keep the energy flowing once you've already cleansed, or just like I said, you want just a light uplifting aroma in the background, releasing a little bit of clearing and positive energy. Now sage comes in a lot of different forms. So we have, this is a mini sage stick, as you can see, pretty compact in size, very inexpensive, usually like a couple of dollars for something like this, $2 to $4 kind of thing. And then we have larger sage sticks, either this size or even longer. This one, by the way, is white sage. Now here we have a combination. This one is sage and lavender. I'll get to that in a second. They come in a bunch of different combinations. But again, you can choose any size. It doesn't matter. It's what works for you, what's convenient for you. So it makes no difference if you use a mini sage stick or a large one. And the combination things, they're really not as important. It's really the combination is really just if you want to add something in, which I will explain in a second. Okay, and then we have Palo Santo here, which is, this is a piece of Palo Santo wood, and I will get back to Palo Santo in a moment and what it is and when to use it. So let's now backtrack to sage. So in using sage, which is it has its roots in Native American culture, but honestly, kind of the world has adapted sage. I mean, I think it's something that most people have heard of, a sage stick, or the term smudging has become more of a pop culture term now. Many people know what smudging is. If you don't, it is when you light a sage stick and burn that in your home to cleanse it, cleanse the energy from the room, cleanse the negative energy, I should say. That is called smudging. So sage is it does have a distinct smell, and it will burn. It will smoke a lot. So if you are cleansing your home or a room, you definitely want to open some windows because it does smoke quite a bit. And you want to just have some ventilation going so that you don't just get smoked out. So you would just basically take the sage stick, light the end. Let me get in the camera, in the frame. You would light the end here blow on it a little bit. Sage, it lights pretty easily and will burn pretty easily. You do want to walk around your space with it while it's smoking. I'm not going to do that here, but obviously imagine it's smoking. You want to take some kind of receptacle, excuse me. This is a little abalone shell, which is commonly used, but you really don't need to have an abalone shell. If you'd like one, they're easily purchased online or in a metaphysical shop, and they're inexpensive. But any receptacle that is either ceramic or metal, because you would be catching the ash that falls, but not may fall, it will fall, and just in case some of those embers or ash are still lit, unless you want to be able to catch those so that it doesn't accidentally hit carpet or bedding or a couch or something like that. You don't want to accidentally start a fire or burn a hole in your lovely bedding if you're going around your bedroom with it. So you do want to walk around with that, and it doesn't matter the type that you're using, small, large, combination. Incense, obviously, you would burn in an incense holder and it would stay stationary, but a sage stick, you're going to walk around your space with that to cleanse the home or cleanse the room. Most people do say some kind of prayer, affirmation, incantation. You can really say whatever you want. There's no, written law about what to say. In general, if you're trying to cleanse the energy in the home, then, kind of use your own verbiage and what makes sense to you. Go with your own religion or your own religious background or your own spiritual beliefs. And, you want to just say something like, I cleanse any and all negativity from my home and my space. I cleanse out everything that is negative and any buildup of stress or anxiety, and I invite in only positive, good vibes. You can say a prayer if you're more comfortable with that. And to be sure, you do not have to say anything. If you are if you don't want to, you're not comfortable and don't feel articulate or don't know what you would say, don't worry about it. Just walking around with the sage stick, smoking and lit, and going in through each room, literally each room. So if you have a big house, go into each room with the sage stick, even the laundry room, even the basement, every room that can be accessed, you want to go into with the sage stick so that you're literally clearing any and all negative energy that has built up. And negative energy can just build up just from everyday life, stress, worry, anxiety. It doesn't have to mean that there's, bad spirits in your house or something. But regardless, the walk into every room, because it's very important, okay? Just so that every room is cleansed. Then when you're done with your sage stick, you definitely want to wet it, run it under water. There are many times that people will douse it in a bowl of sand or a bowl of salt and kind of snuff it out. And it will on the surface appear like it's out here on the top. However, you can see here that it's very densely packed with leaves. So in the middle here, in the inside, chances are you won't burn the whole stick down because, like I said, it does smoke quite a bit. So by the time you're done, unless you live in a mansion, you will still probably have at least half a sage stick left. So you want to just wet it, because if you try to douse it, snuff it out rather, it can still be lit in the middle here where you can't see, and then you can leave it unattended and the whole thing can ignite. So just be aware of that. Just take that precaution. Make sure you wet it and thoroughly. This way it's out even in the center, and leave it to set it on a windowsill to dry in a dry place in the sunlight if you have, if you can put it in a window or just a dry place, and it will dry out completely. And once it's dried completely, may take probably a day or two. Once it's dried completely, you can use it again. It will relight for you. Okay. Now, the sage in combination with things like sage and lavender, sage and cedar, etc. These are combinations that just add some extra oomph, let's say. They add some potency. Cedar actually is considered to be even stronger than sage for cleansing and purifying. So adding a sage stick that uses sage and cedar would be like a double dose of cleansing the negative energy in your home or your space. And let's say this one, sage and lavender, that would be just lavender would add in some healing energy and cleansing of the heart chakra and that kind of thing. So it's really just, you know, you're still getting your cleansing, but you're adding in a little dose of a little extra something, depending on what, you know, what combination you choose to use. Sage sticks also come with flowers on them. Many times, you know, that can be decorative or it can be literally for the floral energy of those particular flowers. Or you'll see ones with, let's say, different colored rose petals in a row, usually 7 of them to cover the chakras, and that would then cleanse each of your chakras as well as cleansing your space or whatever else you're trying to cleanse. Sage can also be used not just for your home, but you can burn sage to cleanse and purify things, items and objects, like, for instance, jewelry, crystals. Crystals is the most common. So if you get some new crystals, smudging them with a sage stick is a great way to cleanse them. Also, jewelry is fantastic thing to be cleansed with sage, especially if it's jewelry that, let's say, you bought in an estate sale or a flea market or something. Even if you buy brand new jewelry, it's just that millions of people have touched it, so and tried it on. So and jewelry often has gemstones in it, which hold and collect energy. So do the precious metals like gold and silver. So cleansing your jewelry with the jewelry that you buy that's new with a sage stick is fantastic. Smudging it would be great. Okay, so there's many uses for that, but again, the most common is a cleansing of the negative energy either in your home or cleansing items in particular. Now, Palo Santo. Let's go over to this. So Palo Santo is, you know, becoming more widely known now than it was. It's actually becoming trendy. I mean, honestly, I've seen Palo Santo in little jars with trendy little bows on them in like a little boutique that sells clothing and accessories. It's funny to me almost. I mean, I'm glad it's getting out there and getting more attention. When you purchase Palo Santo, be sure that you're getting authentic Palo Santo. It is from a mystical tree that's native to South America. Not even going to try to pronounce the tree. It's a 2-part Spanish word, and I'm not going to butcher it. But it is, like I said, native to South America, and you know, shamans have used it for hundreds, if not thousands, of years. You know, for medicinal purposes, for healing. It's very, very powerful. So it is also used in house cleansing or energy cleansing, just as sage is. But now this is debatable. To me, in my humble opinion, Palo Santo is even stronger than sage. Some people may disagree with me on that one, and really, honestly, it doesn't matter. It comes down to your preference. You can go ahead and use sage. It's very popular, and it does do a great job. I just happen to love using Palo Santo, and the reason is it's not just a cleanser. It uplifts. It is soothing. People burn it for when they have anxiety and stress. It calms you down. It calms your spirit. It really, you feel the shift in the energy almost immediately. Same thing now. You would light this up on the end, and Palo Santo is a little harder to get it going. So you're gonna light it, you know, with a lighter. Don't use a match because you'll be there for doing 20 matches. Use a lighter. You're gonna have to carry the lighter around with you because it will go out. It generally does not stay lit. So you're gonna light it up for like a minute, you know, almost picture like you're trying to light a piece of charcoal. You're gonna keep lighting it, and then you wanna blow on it, and then you'll see that the embers will start forming around it and it'll start to smoke. And it'll smoke for really honestly like a minute, maybe two, and then it probably will go out and you'll just relight it and blow on it again, and then it'll start smoking again. And just like with the sage, you want to walk around with a little receptacle. It's not as bad as sage in terms of that, because sage has all these leaves that can fall, where Palo Santo, it's just the ash that you're catching, because almost like a cigarette, ash will fall from it. But again, that can always also be lit, so you want to be careful. Where to get Palo Santo? Any mystical shop. Like I said, now they're like selling them in trendy little stores. However, or online, obviously you can get it on Amazon, places like that, if you don't have access to a mystical shop. You want to just make sure that you've purchased something real. Palo Santo is very inexpensive. Like this piece is about $1, literally. And you should never pay for one piece. You should never pay more than like $1. It has a very distinct smell, very distinct. So how to tell if it's a fake? You can scratch it with your nail or a knife, and you should be able to smell. I'm gonna do it right now, even though this is not smell-o-vision. I'm gonna do it anyway. Yep, there it goes. It's a very distinct smell. It's like a piney, citrusy, licorice type of smell. It's kind of hard to describe. It's a mixture, but I think that's a good way. Like a mixture of pine, licorice, citrus kind of smell. I love it. I actually love it. But in any case, it's distinct. So if you scratch the piece of Palo Santo or use a little knife to scratch it and you don't smell that even before you start burning it, it's most likely a fake. So if you buy it online, just make sure you buy from a reputable seller, so that you know that you're getting the real deal. Okay, and when to burn Palo Santo? Again, to cleanse your home, to cleanse the energy in the home. When you can cleanse yourself with it. Just literally, you would just go all around your body, wave the Palo Santo stick around your body, and you will feel so uplifted. It will cleanse you, cleanse your home, cleanse the room. You can purify objects with it as well, but really, because it was used and is still used by shamans for medicinal purposes, whereas sage was often used more like in religious rites and things like that. The Palo Santo is just so soothing to the spirit. And you will find you just immediately feel a shift in the energy and immediately feel uplifted and have your stress and anxiety kind of calmed and soothed. Now, it is also used to remove, like, let's say, bad energy or negative spirits, bad spirits. If you think you have, for lack of better terms, a ghost in your home or your space, yes, burn Palo Santo. Back in the day, it was used for exorcisms, literally. It's very, very powerful. So where it comes from in South America, those shamans believe that there is kind of a spirit in the wood. And when the tree falls, the spirit stays in the wood. And as long as you're respectful of that, when you burn the Palo Santo, it's literally, Palo Santo translates to holy wood. So when you're respectful of that, they believe that when you burn it, it will do wonders for you. It will protect you. It will cleanse you. If there are negative, bad spirits in your space, it will drive them away. Now, one funny thing I have clients ask me all the time when it comes to Palo Santo, when they tell me, oh, I think I have a bad spirit in my home, or, I think I have a ghost, or, but something negative that I don't know who or what it is, I didn't invite it in, kind of thing. And I tell them, to burn Palo Santo and explain how to do it, etc. I've had so many clients say, oh, but I also feel the energy of my grandmother who's passed, and I don't want to drive her away. And will the Palo Santo, drive my grandmother's spirit away too? And, I giggle a little bit because I understand the question, but fear not. Palo Santo is only going to expel and push away anything dark and negative. So if you have a loved one that's passed and you feel their energy quite often in your home, burning Palo Santo is not going to push them away. In fact, The funny thing is, you may find that it opens a little bit of a door, and when you sleep that night, you may actually even dream of your loved one that's passed away, because sometimes it opens a little bit of a door or gateway, and your loved one is able to sort of pop in to your dream and sometimes just show you that they're there and you just see them, and other times it would be an actual message. But either way, it's not going to drive away any loved ones that have passed on that are there watching over you. And it's only going to cleanse out what's dark and negative. It really is, I don't want to say a multi-purpose, like use it for everything, but it does have a lot that it can do. And not only, like I said, does it cleanse, but it leaves you with this joyful, uplifted, you feel like almost you took a spiritual shower. So that's what I love about Palo Santo. It's powerful and very interesting to me. I'm fascinated by it and I love it. I myself only started using it, I don't know, maybe 5-6 years ago. And I noticed a huge difference by using it. And don't get me wrong, still love my sage. You can't go wrong with sage. Like I said, for cleansing, for purifying, it's good old sage is still good old sage, you know, it still works wonders. And incense in any of these, in sage and Palo Santo in combinations, is always great to burn in your home. Once you've cleansed, it's lovely to keep that energy flowing. So that's basically the information I have for you. I hope that this was helpful, and I hope that you will go out there and purchase some sage or Palo Santo if you feel so inclined, and go ahead and cleanse your space and your energy and see how everything shifts and changes for you. Oh, by the one more thing, Palo Santo, same thing. You don't have to worry about what you say when you walk around your space. Just burn it. And you can say something if you like about cleansing out negative energy or lifting your own vibration, etc. But don't worry so much. And if you have a fireplace, when you're done burning Palo Santo, you can throw it into the fireplace and burn the rest of it. Or again, you would wet it, let it dry out. It will go out on its own, but just wet it just to be, just to be cautious. Wet it. Let it sit and dry. It won't take long for it to dry out, and you could use it again. A stick this size, you could probably use 2 or 3 times. All right, everyone. Ciao for now. Okay, so hope you found that helpful. And if you did, I hope you can like and share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. I would really appreciate it. And if there are other things you'd like to know about, hit me up. Send me a message, leave it in the comments, and if it's something that I know about, I will absolutely share what I know. All right. Have a wonderful day, everybody.